Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to learn adverbs of frequency. Before we start our lesson, let's take a look at these two pictures. The first picture here, I never miss any football match. And the second one here, do you usually revise your lessons? Do you ever worry about your marks? Yes, I do. So, do you notice the three red words here? Never, usually, ever. What are they actually? Before we begin, shall we, or let us revise a bit about the adverb. What is adverb? The adverb actually modifies or qualifies an adjective, verb, or other adverb or a verb group. For example, he swims well. He ran quickly. She spoke softly. The green word here, for example, like the word well, describe how did he swim? Or the quickly, how did he run? How fast did he run? He ran quickly. How did he run? Okay. She spoke softly. How did she spoke? How did she speak? Okay. So, what is adverb of frequency? Is there any other difference? An adverb of frequency tells us how often something takes place. Okay, the adverb of frequencies tells us how often something takes place. For example, I often surf the internet. I never swim in the sea. I seldom eat junk food. So the green word here are actually the adverb of frequency. Okay. Next one. So let's take a look at this funnel chart. Okay, from the top to the bottom, from always, usually, often, sometimes, seldom, never. Okay, from 100% to 0%, it means the 100% here means it is happening all the time. Whereas the 0% here means that it's not going to happen, or at least it haven't happened yet. Let's take a look at the example here. I always brush my teeth before sleep. Means that every day before I go to sleep, I definitely will brush my teeth. Usually. Okay, it's not 100%, but it's close to 100%. So means that not all, but mostly. Okay, I usually walk to school, not every day, but mostly. Okay, the next one, I often surf the internet. Okay, it's nearly like maybe 50 to 60%. And also the next one is sometimes. I sometimes sing in the shower. Okay, it's not that every time I have my shower I will sing, but it's like there is a frequency. Okay. Next one is seldom. I seldom read the newspaper. Okay. And the last one, I never slept late at night. Okay. So next we're going to see where do we place the adverb. There are actually few ways to place the adverb. Okay. First of all, we will place the adverb before the main verb, except verb to be. Okay, notice that here I do mention the main verb. We shall see what do I mean by the main verb here. So the order will be subject, adverb, and main verb. For example, I always get up at 6:45 a.m. Always is the adverb here. Get up, is the main verb here. Okay, the next one, he usually gets good result in the exam. Usually is the adverb here. The gets is the main verb here. After the verb to be, this is the second way. How do we place the adverb? So the order will be subject, verb to be, and adverb. They are never pleased to see me. See that? The verb to be are and the adverb never. Next one is, what if there is auxiliary verb? The auxiliary verb here means have, will, must, might, could, would, can, or etc. Okay, so it's very simple. We place it between the auxiliary verb and the main verb. The subject here, so the order will be subject, auxiliary verb, followed by the adverb, followed by the main verb. Let's take a look at the example here. They might never see each other again. See that? Might never see. Auxiliary, adverb, main verb. Next one. She can sometimes beat me in a race. Can sometimes beat. Okay, so it's very simple. Next one is the hardly ever and never with positive but not negative verbs. For example, like she hardly ever comes to my parties. They never say thank you. Whereas the ever is used in questions and negative statements. For example, have you ever been to New Zealand? Ever been to New Zealand? Or I haven't never been to New Zealand. It's a negative statement there. We can use the following adverbs at the start of the sentence. For example, usually, normally, often, frequently, sometimes, occasionally. So let's take a look at the example here. Occasionally, I like to eat Thai food. Means that not that I love Thai food, but sometimes I really love the Thai food. Okay, so it's a meaning there. Okay, but we cannot use the following at the beginning of a sentence. Always, seldom, rarely, hardly, never. So class, let's try the exercise from the textbook, page 62. So next one, we will place the adverb correctly in each of the sentences. The first one, always. Fahmi study at his own table. How are we going to place the adverb into this sentence? Okay, the subject it's very simple. First, we identify the verbs from this sentence. So the verbs here is studies. So circle it. Put the adverb right before the verbs. So the answer would be Fahmi always study at his own table. Okay, next one, number 2, seldom. My sister watches televisions. Okay, the verb here, watches. Put the adverb right before the verb. So, my sister seldom watches television. Okay, the third one here. Never. Adam listens to music when he studies. So, this sentence have 2 verbs, but remember that you must pick the main verb. So the main verb here should be the one near to the subject. So it will be listens. Right before the verb the verbs. So it will be Adam never listens to music when he studies. It's easy, right? The fourth one, usually. The girls do their homework after lunch. So, it's very simple. First, look at the verb here, do. So, put the adverb right before the verbs. The girls usually do their homework after lunch. Okay? The fifth one, sometimes. I revise my lessons at the library. So, note that this is sometimes. As I mentioned before, you can either put sometimes right before the verbs, or you can put sometimes at the beginning of the sentences. So, we'll do it both ways. First, you find the revise here, identify it, okay, then you put right in front of the verb. I sometimes revise my lessons at the library, or sometimes I revise my lessons at the library. Two answers. Ever. Have you fallen asleep while studying? Okay. Identify the verb here, fallen. So, the answer should be, have you ever fallen asleep while studying? Now, here is some exercise. You can try this with your friends, or you can try this on your own. Okay, here use the form below to interview your friend. Then use the information to write about her or his study habits. 1 is for always, 2 is for often, 3 sometimes, 4 seldom, 5 never. So ask him or her these few questions. Do you lie on your bed when you study? Do you study in a quiet place? Do you study with your friends? Do you use thinking maps to help you study? Do you revise your lessons? It's a rather very simple task. Example here. Here's the example. Do you lie on your bed when you study? 5. Never. Okay, never. Study in a quiet place? Always. Okay, number 1 is always. Study with your friends? Sometimes. Use thinking maps to help you study? Often. Revise your lessons? Often. So, here is the answer. I'll read with you all. I have a friend. His name is Adam. He never lied on his bed when he studied. He always studied in a quiet place. Sometimes he studied with his friends. He often used thinking maps to help his study. He often revised his lessons. So this is the example answer. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. So if you should have any questions, please make sure to write down in the comment sections, and I'll be catch up with you all. That's all for now. Thank you.